Yo, what is going on, guys? Danny Buys Homes here with my boy Stefan Lopez _. We got someone very special here today. Our boy Matthew Justice, 22. He's coming on. He's gonna be our first guest on the Microflip Mafia podcast. This dude, I mean, we're gonna see what we're gonna ask him. We're just gonna see how this rolls out. But this dude is killing it with micro flipping.
Yeah,
So
appreciate it.
Dude, and I want to shout out Matt for being just a person who is always about it. I remember when we just had our Vegas trip, when I called you about it, I didn't even tell you anything about it. I was just like, yo, Vegas. You were like, Patrick bet David. You said $500. You said no problem. I love that kind of attitude. I think when did we first meet? We met like last year at the Astroflip Mastermind.
Yeah, dude, literally just a year ago now.
Dude, it's been such a pleasure meeting you and then watching you just evolve into this epic micro flipper / wholesaler. You're one of the hardest working people I know and actually does deals in a cool, positive, professional way. I think a lot of people miss that. But dude, so honored to have you on as our very first guest. You're somebody that, we've got to know. We've actually done deals together. And I think it's super dope. So super glad to have you on.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me on, especially as your first guest. This is dope.
Heck yeah, dude. So what are we gonna start with?
Well, Matt, I guess just tell everybody just a little bit about your story. Give everybody your little 2-minute story. How did you find out about what this is? Doing micro flipping is something that a lot of people, frown upon, which is why we started the Mafia, because in astro flipping, it's a huge component of where you get deal flow. But I think a lot of other groups and Facebook groups and communities, they have a negative perspective on it. But yeah. I think you sharing kind of your perspective and seeing different attitudes, how'd you get started in all this and where have you taken it now? Just tell everybody.
Yeah. So in short, basically how I got started, graduated college, didn't know what the heck I wanted to do with my life. Then just started researching literally how to get rich because I knew I needed to buy rental properties to be super wealthy, but I had no idea how to buy rental properties. So I'm like, I need to make money. So figured, I got to get rich first. So real estate was just top 5 on literally everything. So I'm like, man, okay, I'm going to do this. How do I get into real estate right now without having any money and without getting my real estate license? Came across being an investor, always knew that, being an owner and an investor is always going to be top of the totem pole. So I just decided, okay, how do I do this as quickly as possible? Came across wholesaling. Decided to get into wholesaling, started watching a lot of Jamil's content, Brent Daniels content, and then Pace's content. And, just loved all 3 of them and really just resonated with what Jamil had to say. I had no idea what I was doing. Felt like I needed the structure. So I'm like, how do I get closer to Jamil and some of his community members so that I can network with the right people and see exactly how I could go about this? Basically, got into Jamil's community. That's where I met you guys at in Astro. And from then, dude, within my first couple weeks, I wasn't doing anything. I graduated college, so I just took massive action on the course. I think I watched the course in the matter of 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and it's a 6-week course.
Yep.
I literally didn't do anything at all. I just watched the videos 24/7 because I would play Rocket League at the same time because I wasn't doing
multitasking, baby.
Yeah. And so then I'm like, dude, once we got to micro flipping, I'm like, I'm taking immediate action because I need to make money now. And so just started connecting with as many people as I can at the time, and just with what they said in the course. So that's kind of how I got started. But my perspective on micro flipping is I think it's one of the best, most beautiful strategies in wholesale real estate. Just because of the fact that you can connect with so many people. Literally all micro flipping is just networking and figuring out how do I connect the dots in these different places. Because what the beauty of micro flipping is you don't even have to be direct to seller. You don't have to be direct to buyer. You don't need to be direct to nobody. You just need to know people that know people so you can get the deal done. And it's one of the best ways to do deals. Done plenty of micro flips. But yeah, dude, I love micro flipping. It's so fun.
Dude, and you know
Sure.
what's my favorite part is like when I sold you that deal, that was a micro flip, right?
Yeah.
And the speed at which we were able to do it because I had the right contact. I didn't know nothing about the market. I didn't really know anything, but I knew I could call Matt Justice. And then a lot of times it's one of those trial and errors, right? Like I met you at a meetup, not everybody from meetup same level. So it's like boom, you see how people operate, you see how I operate, we get to work together to work deals. That's
Yep.
like the most fun part. And to realize like we did a deal together in Tucson, and this one was crazy because you and I split like what did we split, like 8K, something like that, nothing
Yeah.
crazy. And
Yeah.
then two other people sold the deal for like 30K more. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's awesome because everyone made money. And honestly, too, if they weren't there, I would never have known the end contact that would have bought that deal. So it probably wouldn't have closed. I sent it out to all my direct buyers. You know, none of them wanted it, or they were like 30K under where we even had it at. So it's like, dude, you never know who people know that can actually get the deal done. And even at the price that you're asking, like, dude, that was not the best
That was
deal.
not a good deal.
Like sold it 30, 40K under ARV. Like
Bro,
the
it
end
was
buyer
like
bought it there.
90% ARV when it was finally sold.
That's
And
crazy.
the market wasn't like super hot as it is right now. Like it was just starting to come back up. So I mean, dude, it was crazy. And I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get that deal done if I didn't know the connect that had the connect that had the connect. Like,
Dude,
you know,
it's crazy. And it was like 5 people deep on one HUD, right? And so
yeah.
for those people who don't know, we're gonna break down micro flipping. It's getting a deal from a wholesaler, an acquisition wholesaler, and selling it to a dispo wholesaler. What's really crazy is sometimes these things get real drawn out. So our deal had Ak, me, Matt, this guy, 2 more guys that got paid. So this like 5, 6 people all on one deal. And then the end buyer ended up paying everybody. But we didn't have the end buyer. We didn't have that connect. And that's the beauty of it. It wasn't we were stingy or closed-minded. We love working with people as long as you perform. And you know how it goes, because a lot of times, guys, the people who are in the industry the longest, they give me the hardest time about how to do deals. It should really not be this complicated if you've been buying real estate. If you want it, you like it, you take it.
I just want to add too, it's like so many people are like, oh, that's a daisy chain. You know what I mean? Like there was 5, 6 people on the HUD on that. Oh, that's a daisy chain. Like we hate daisy chainers. It's like, dude, we help the seller out. We help the buyer out. Not only that, but every single person in line had communication with each other
Exactly.
to get this deal done. So in my opinion, that is not a daisy chain. Like we're just here to freaking do deals. Daisy chaining's when like someone sends out a deal on their email and no one
not even theirs.
yeah, and then they just take it and then start sending it out with no permission. You know, no one says anything. And I mean, even then, honestly, like if wholesalers want to do that to my deals, I'm not mad. Like send out my deals. I don't really care.
Get more
But I
eyes
mean,
on it.
still, it's like, dude, if you ever get any action on it, come back to me, then let me know. But like, if you
Yeah.
have literally no communication whatsoever, then that's, in my opinion, a daisy chain.
Exactly. And
100%.
I think that clarification super important, because it's like if you're communicating and people are telling you one thing, that's also how you're going to find out people you don't like. Like Matt and Jay, it's funny because we'll have like the same supplier. They'll text us both the deals, and then we'll talk to each other and be like, we don't really like this guy. Okay. We don't really even like his deals. He's not even direct to seller. So they're not even that hot. Right. And so it's really hilarious when you both play in the game. You're like, all right, we're going to collab more than we're going to compete because we're looking for the same thing to help each other. And so that's where I think micro flipping and why we wanted to rebrand it. That's why we call this the Mafia. You are definitely in the Mafia, Jay. We've already done deals. Like we know you're verified and valid, but that's what we wanted to kind of bring to awareness, is that you guys can work with other wholesalers to get deals. And whether or not that's just wholesaling or getting your own sub twos or whatever it is that you want, this is a lead source and you need to use it. And you need to be good at it. That way, when you get a deal from a wholesaler that you don't want to buy, might as well make some bread on it. Matt, tell people like what kind of revenue have you been doing? When we were in Vegas, I saw you hustling so freaking hard. I was super impressed with the like level of work ethic and focus. But tell people what has been like the result from you not getting like having no deals, no experience in real estate from like what, a year ago, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, September 1st, which is like literally next week.
Boom.
Heck yeah.
2 years time. This is what people, like this is like you just getting your feet wet. You've gone from 0 to what now?
Dude,
I mean, dude, last year is super inconsistent. Even this year, like the start of it was super inconsistent, but probably in the last, I don't know, 3 months, I've made somewhere right around 80K. I'm like a total of 140 for the year with stuff pending closing in the next couple of days. And even next month too. And like we still have so much more left of the year. So I mean, it's like, in my opinion, not too much, but it's one of the easiest ways for you to also like get just so low hanging fruit and to be able to turn around so quick. Cause like some of these direct to seller deals, some of these agent deals, they could take, anywhere from a couple weeks to months and months and months.
yep.
Where a micro flip, it has a timeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, these wholesalers, they're like, man, I need this thing closed. And sometimes it's like, shoot, bro, I'll be your last option. Like, I ain't mad. Let me try this thing in a week.
Yeah.
And I love when you actually get it done and you make money in like 3 days, 5 days. You're like, okay, I don't need a job. I'm good. I'm making 150K a year. I'm good.
Dude.
No college degree, college dropout.
Yeah. I just want to say, guys, I stayed with my boy Matt back in June, and the week I was with him, I think he did 5 deals in a week. In a freaking week.
With the guest over.
Dude, that's insane. Like, it shows you what's possible with real estate and just being like a connector, right? So I think maybe a few of those was agent deals too, but most of them were micro flips, if I'm right.
Bro, even one of the agent deals we did, I freaking ended up micro flipping it.
That's sick, bro.
Dude, but it comes to show that it's like we control our own schedules now. Like Matt, he has his own routine that he likes, and sometimes he's like, oh, I want to stay in California for 2 weeks. I'm gonna stay in California for 2 weeks and just do what I want. And he still makes it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's one of the most beautiful things about this business too, is we could literally do it from freaking anywhere. Doesn't even matter, man. Like, you could be wherever you want. Like, we know people in our community in TTP that are literally just in different countries and they're doing deals in the United States. Like, that's freaking awesome.
Dude. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing now. We've literally traveled a whole bunch. Matt, we really appreciate you even coming out like to Vegas and traveling. Dude, it's a whole experience. And it's so fun to like have the community where we can do deals together and share those kinds of experiences. And like one of the things that I think is so valuable is when we go and do these things, we exchange gems from each other. Mm-hmm. So like learning exactly like what everybody's really good at and how to do business together and communicate. Super awesome. I know you gave us so many gems that like I can't even share here. Just like seeing you in person again, it's like, okay, when are we going back to Phoenix in like November? We're like, okay, we got to be there a week. Who are we calling? You know who we're calling.
Let's go.
We're gonna hang out with Matty J for a week. It's gonna be dope.
Yes, sir.
But I was gonna say one of those things is like when we actually get gems, because I think a lot of people lose this. I was the same way. I got astro flipping, okay, and I jumped to week 3 because I had already had a bunch of real estate like knowledge. But once I learned about micro flipping and that I didn't have to be direct to seller, I didn't have to be direct to buyer, that I could go grab a contract, the speed of implementation was instant. I was already in a deal. I just didn't know what it was called. It was like, oh, wow, this is what I'm doing? Okay, badass. This is probably how Jamil felt, except he didn't have the course. He had to go make the course.
Yeah, for real.
But that's one of those things is how quickly are you guys implementing? Because a lot of people, there's like 3,000-4,000 people. I know in sub 2 there's like 10,000 people. And then in the free Facebook group, there's 100,000 people. Not every single person is implementing. And Matt, you're one of the people I know invest money into like network, right? And network's very important to you and getting around those types of people. How is that really impacted? Because you take massive action with not just Astro, but with everything that you do. So, I mean, that's one of those things. Oh, right here, Mike. Yeah. And that's one of those things that I think a lot of people miss out on. Is there any like key takeaways you would take from how you operate? Because I would classify you as a high level professional. You do things really awesome that people can go and duplicate. That's duplicatable for the audience to actually go have success.
I mean, I think, you basically just said it too. I think you have to be very fast to implement, whatever gems you get. like, don't just sit on it. Oh, should I do this? You know, should I do it like this way? It's like, no, like, figure it out right away. Like, just go and do it
Yeah.
right away. And then you'll realize, like, oh, I don't really like doing it this way. Maybe if I just tweak it a little bit, then it's like by time you decided to take action, I already tweaked the way that I implemented it. And like,
Yep.
I'm already figuring it out way quicker than you even just went to decide that you want to do it. So be quick to implement. Not for real though. Like, dude, people
Yeah.
just on their thoughts and like, man, like, nah, you got to be uncomfortable. And I'm honestly not the
100%.
best networker either, which is funny because most of my business comes from microflipping, which is all networking. But it's like, it just goes to show, dude, like, you just got to make yourself uncomfortable. Cause like, this job is uncomfortable. Talking to people is uncomfortable. Networking is uncomfortable. But if you put yourself in those situations, they later on start to become comfortable, and like you just figure out how to do things a certain way.
100%. It's like you got to be you have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And like you said, you do it so many times, it's just a normal thing now. Like I remember when I first started, I was getting on the phones and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm about to call this agent. This is scary." Like I was actually scared to get on the phones. Like I remember in the course it was like, "Okay, first call this hard money lender, ask what they do." And I was like, "Oh yeah, so how many what's your origination?" I was like, "Oh shoot." But now I can hop on the phone and be like, "Yo, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on with this and that?" It's like you just grow your skills over time, just making
Bro,
yourself
for real.
uncomfortable.
Dude, I think I did like my first 3 deals like solely through text message. If they called me, I would deny the call and be like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah.
And then like they'd be like, "Dude, it's urgent. I need you to answer." And I'd be like, "Oh, okay." Then I would go and like answer the phone. But like, dude, my first 3 deals were like 98% text message. Like,
Straight fire, bro.
yeah,
I
bro.
will
Like,
just call, say, what do you need? I got you. Just text me.
bro, for real. And I mean, honestly, it just goes to show now, too, though. Like, I make it a point to try to be very, what's the word, intentional with
Yeah.
my calls. Because obviously, calls take time. And I feel bad when I start to do other things on the phone as well. So, like, if someone is talking to me, I don't want to be distracted. And there are times where it does happen where I'll find myself starting to comp properties at the same time that I'm talking to someone, or start texting someone else, or even just playing a game on my phone or something. And I've been finding that I actually feel really bad about it. So I want to be just very intentional. So it's like, dude, like I think now that doing it that way has helped me a lot, because now I can be more intentional on the phone and also get more mass out through text message, because I could text 4 or 5 people at the same time and just go through text messages where it's only going to be one phone call for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Where I could have 5 different conversations over text within that same 5 minutes.
Dude, super powerful. And I'm always telling people, like, I see people on the phones all the time. I notice it with my own calls when the calls are going too long. Like, I'm usually not even going to get the business. It's already gone too long. Like, it's crazy how you can, like, watch these things as you get better in the game and realize, like, wow, my average call is 10 minutes when I'm introducing myself, making the openers. I had one today that was 17. But when you're having those super, like, targeted conversations, they're so much more impactful than when you're just on the phone, lollygagging, talking about a whole lot of nothing, building rapport is what people like to say. But at the end of the day, there is a business to it, right? And there's a transaction that we're looking to happen. And that's what we're both looking for. And it should benefit the agent too, right? They're looking for it too, right? Or they should be. If they're not trying to get you off the phone, like, no, we're not interested. Like, you send me an offer, dog.
Right, for real.
I love it when they do that. We had it today, bro. We're hunting for the content house, and we're finding some really dope ones. So we're hoping we'll convince you once we have it all situated. But the agent was literally on the phone, right, quoting something in their rules that the brokerage won't let them do about sub 2, right? He says we can't do an IATB, TB, TD, whatever he called it. I said, what does that mean? He's like, that's a great question. I don't know. I was like, okay, but you keep quoting it to me. Why we can't do this thing? So it's hilarious in that conversation. I'm like, all right, badass. You said you said the seller's gonna cancel the listing when? All right, perfect.
2 weeks?
2
Okay.
weeks? That's perfect.
I just talked to the seller myself. Thank you very much.
You said you can't do it. You obviously don't understand wholesale.
Dude, and because like on the phone call, he actually said, we've actually tried that and my brokerage won't allow it. So it's like, it's almost like we already know that the seller's probably open to it.
Legit.
Yeah.
Legit.
And it's like, y'all just aren't able to facilitate this. Let me just hop in line.
Yeah.
Bro, he could have just laid me up, be like, you know what, you want to just talk to him and you figure it out and then you pay me? Nah,
Right.
Can't do it. I'm canceling it in 2 weeks. Perfect.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, dude, thanks for answering my questions. You have a great day. Let me know if you find anything else. I'll help you out. So, dude, I love it. I love it because that is literally what the business becomes. And you're like the full embodiment of it. You give so much motivation and positivity to others, which I think is great because not only are you actually doing the business, right? And you're putting in the work and you're running the things that Astro teaches, right? With wholesaling and then implementing other things, you're giving it back now. And even though we're not multi-millionaires yet, dude, we're all on the same path to get there.
Right.
And we get there together. Like, I'm gonna remember the days when we're talking about making $4,000 checks versus $40,000 checks versus $4 million checks.
Yeah. No, dude, for real. And I mean, this is literally just a start. You know, it's like our mentor is Jamil, right? And it's like, we're just going to follow in the footsteps of our leader. You know, he just laid it all out in line for us. And all we have to do is just walk the same path. And it's like, it's way too easy, you know? So, I mean, this is literally just a start. So it's super exciting to see where we've all come from, you know, because we all started literally from nothing.
Dude, I started my journey like 2-3 years ago, like with micro flipping. It's been life-changing. My little brother just did his first deal.
Oh, let's go. Heck yeah.
Dude, I know, while we were in Vegas, and we had to go back and retrade it, which is even crazier. Got the retrade, sold the deal,
Yes.
like everything that we're supposed to do. And like just seeing how it changes other people's lives. Like, it's one of those things where the skill set, which I think we've lost in modern education, is like investing into skills.
Yeah.
What other skills do you have that help you be successful, like in real estate, or that you're looking to attain? I'm always curious. Like, I want to learn another language. Danny and I were Puerto Rico. We didn't speak no Spanish. I was like, we need to learn.
You need to learn some
Spanish. We need to
Espanol.
learn some Spanish. Like, I think that could also help us. But are there other things that you're hoping to do, or other skills you want to have, like flying planes?
I mean, honestly, nothing that too much I desire like that. I just think that I have to be very disciplined in, you know, 1 to 3 skills and just get really, really, really good at those. So I mean, even discipline's a skill. I would say discipline's one, you know. I would just say my communication skill. That's something that, you know, you can always work on no matter how good you are. So I think that's something else that's very important. And, you know, just I honestly, even like being spiritual, that's a skill. You know what I mean? And that's not something that just comes easy, even though we are very spiritual beings, like we're made in God's image. And it doesn't necessarily come easy for us because we are surrounded by so many worldly things, even this business. Like, dude, I first got into it because I'm like, dude, I can make so much money doing this. But then later realized, like, I can help and serve so many people. And this may be the path that God actually has for me so that I actually can go and touch other people's lives. Where I was first looking at it as a very worldly thing, later on finding out that it actually has a deeper meaning and a deeper purpose to it. So, I mean, I think those are really it. Like, if you're just really disciplined, and they all go hand in hand, right? Because if you're disciplined and you're spiritual and you can communicate with God well, you could communicate with others well, and it'll just impact every single aspect of your life. So, I mean, those are the 3 things I think are one of the most important things, you know?
Boom. Can they drop a fax machine in the chat, please? Yeah, this is great. Dude, Matt, you always spin fire, bro. And I think that was epic because I think you're one of the people who actually likes to help. You and I both resonate on it, though. A lot of people don't know how to ask for help, right? And maybe it's they lack that communication skill or because they don't practice it, right?
Yeah.
And it's really important because if you want to get around people who are doing bigger, better things, it's not about how you say the thing. It's about how they actually receive it. Because you might think it's the best thing, right? You might think it's the best thing in the world, but like it's about how they actually receive the gift or the message, not about how you want them to, right? And that happens to us all the time. People come to us wanting things, even just your time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that is so big. Like, communication, really, like, you can't, the best way for you to resonate with people is to make sure that you're seeing it from their perspective, and like, how are they going to receive this, and I mean, dude, that is huge. That's like one of the best ways to be able to communicate with people, is if you're hitting it right on the nail on how they want to receive it. I mean, that's a bar in itself.
Whew. And it's like one of those things, like you talked about communication and your 3 skills, I really respect, because I see you do all of them. It's not like you just talk about it. You're super disciplined. You communicate super effectively. Hilarious quick side story. We're in Las Vegas. We're walking from the MGM Grand Arena. Homeboy's texting the whole way. I swear to God, I had a whole conversation. He goes, "Hey, my bad, bro. I wasn't really paying attention. I was working. But I just want to let you know, like, I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be here." He even communicated he's not going to be there, which is super fire. I said, "No worries. I'll just keep talking. I just need to get this out." But he let me know. Okay, most people don't even have that level of awareness, right? That they're not communicating there. We're going to tell you up front. We're going to tell you now on the podcast, if you're in this game and you're using social medias, you're using those other things, communication is going to be huge. And if you're not communicating or you're not having success, maybe that's one of the skills you need to work on. Because, Matt, with the 3 skills you named, you're having mad success.
Bro, and also think about it too, like the skills I said are not like, oh, making money.
Yeah.
He didn't even say marketing. He didn't even say, he said communication. He said discipline. He said spirituality, whatever that means to you.
Right. Dude, that's not making money at all. The money is just an additive to what we
Byproduct.
need. Yeah. It's just a plus.
Honestly. And everybody who doesn't have it, I think Kanye even said it in one of his songs. He said, having money ain't everything, but not having it is. And they just don't have enough of it or have made enough of it. But I feel so blessed that we're all so young and we're like the next generation of people, but we're realizing it early, right?
Yeah.
That money isn't everything. We can make more of it. They literally print it from the sky at this point. At this point, it's just printed. And we're investing into real assets with skill sets through network and community. Because we're even looking for a house for you right now. We're looking for a house for you, sub 2. You might find one before, but we're looking, right? Yeah. We're putting it out there that we're going to find one. And then maybe that's our other content house, right? It's crazy the amount of things we can even envision now. And having a cool, fun vision that we're looking forward to with friends, dope. What are you looking forward to next in 2023, 2024? What are you projecting your life to look like, and where are you trying to go? And how can we and the audience and everybody help with that vision?
That's a great question. Within the next year, first off, I just want to say too, I think vision is huge. Like that's just something that honestly motivates every single day. If you don't have motivation, and if you just always have that end goal in mind, it'll just push you to do what you need to do that day. So I just want to say that for people in the audience, because like if you don't have a vision of what your future could look like, it's tough to keep going, like, because you feel like you're just working for nothing. But to answer that question, in a year from now, I would really like to be basically fully scaled, almost out of my wholesale business. I want to be in a couple different markets. I would say probably about 3 to 5 markets where I'm averaging probably about 7 to 10 deals a month in each market. That would really be ideal. I personally don't even care like what money that comes out to per month. I know, like I said earlier, money just comes. But the priority is really just closing deals. So I mean, that's really where I'd like to be in my business. And I mean, later on, like I would honestly in a year from now like to be married. I want to be with my woman, leading a household. So I mean, dude, a year from now, I don't even know if I would be living in Arizona anymore. I want to be at the point where I can go and travel, not only just like the United States, but go into different countries and be able to do business in other places. And I definitely also want to actually start buying properties, not like for active income, but for like tax purposes and to start renting stuff out. So that way later I can have that passive income.
Dude, I'm excited.
I freaking love that. Dude, I'm so excited for you. So let's recap real quick. So the first thing he said was he wants to be in potentially what up to 5 markets. So let's just say seven to 10 deals a month. Imagine he can get 10 deals a month in 5 markets. That's 50 deals a month. Imagine that's freaking insane. And this is a realistic goal too, guys. This is so achievable because he's really just putting systems and processes in place and just duplicating those in other areas.
For real. I mean, dude, even if you think about it, right? It's like Keegley, New Western, even some of these other smaller / bigger wholesale companies, even just here in Arizona, are averaging like 30 deals a month. And that's in one market.
Yeah.
One market. Like 10 in one market is so achievable. So achievable. Like, dude, I know a dude out here in Arizona. I'm pretty sure it's only like him, one other person. And I think he has like a VA or maybe a couple VAs.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does not have a big team. And this dude averages a deal a day.
Damn.
A deal a freaking day.
Damn, with one VA. A deal a day with one VA. That should be his
In a partner. Like, dude, there's like 3 or 4 of them on their team. And it's like only really 2 of them are the ones actually making calls and doing the deals. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's insane.
Dude, super stoked. That was actually super cool, like vision, and I see it happening. That's my favorite part. Like I could see that for you.
Yeah.
Just with how hard I see you working and how focused you are, I don't see that being like anything crazy. And looking forward to seeing you again, man. Like when we're in Phoenix and traveling, and because there's a lot more we want to do and we want to share. So like the vlogs, everything we're working on, all of the brand deals, all the things that we're generating ideas for.
Yes.
And super happy to have you be a part of that. All because you took my freaking phone call 3 months ago. It was like, whatever, bro, I'm down.
Yeah.
Dude, for real.
I just want to say I want an invitation to this wedding.
It hasn't been. I don't think it's set up yet. He'll let us
No,
know. Let us know. We're good, bro. Right? I mean, Matt, we're good right now.
Of course, y'all are coming,
dude. I'm so excited for this, dude.
Huh?
I'm so excited for you, Matt.
Dude, and you know what's crazy? Like you're actually super young, but like you're not. Okay, like you're not. You're super like focused, driven, mature, like for the age. And a lot of people underestimate that. They might have these beliefs that it's not possible for them, right? But you don't seem to have any of these limiting beliefs, which is so exciting because it means everything's possible. And in today's world, a lot of people don't believe they can do anything. Oh my gosh, they don't believe anything's possible. They think they're a victim or whatever. And I love seeing somebody who doesn't have that because it's really hard to even sell me on like limiting beliefs. People are like, oh no, you can't. I'm like, well, that's because you believe it, but I don't believe that. Matt obviously doesn't believe none of that. What are some of the best beliefs you think you have that like serve you? Because I think that's actually super big. I'm super big on I can do whatever I want. Anything's possible. Those are some of my beliefs as long as you can like make it happen. What are some things that carry you forward? You know what I mean? In your life and your business.
I mean, that's definitely one of them too. Like I could do literally anything that I want to, if I just put my mind to it, right? Because we're the only limiting belief that we really have. Like we're the only ones that stop ourselves. So I mean, that's huge. Other things too that I think that would change the world if people thought this way is if every single person looked at everything as in how did I cause this? How did I, make this happen?
Dude.
Whatever it is, right? If every single person just held themselves accountable, even if someone freaking hit my car, how did I put myself in this position to make this happen? I think the world would be a totally different place. So that's something that's huge too. Like, I just also think that helps me grow a lot in every single aspect in my life. Cause it's like, dude, literally, what did I do to cause this situation? Even if it's not my fault. Like there is, one thing that like, even how people react, or it's like, dang, this person kind of had an attitude towards me. Well, what did I do to cause this person to have an attitude? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I actually realized that the way that I said this came off a little strong and triggered them to actually have an attitude. Granted, it's not okay that that person reacted in that way, but still I did something to cause them to react that way, whatever it may be. So that is something that I, live by. What did I do to cause this?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's huge.
Dude, I gotta say I was about to say the same exact thing. If you guys are watching this right now, you better be taking notes, because that is probably, dude, that's one of the most crucial things to success, is being able to take responsibility for everything that happens. Because it's like, even like, for example, Matt's trying to build a team. What happens if one of his guys messes up? That's not their fault. That's his fault, because he wasn't preparing them the right way. They did something wrong. Oh, wait, how can I improve and like change my processes and make them more aware of the situation that they're getting into? Like, how can I make this better? How can I change what I'm doing to help them,
And that's what being a leader is, man. And like Matt, you're an awesome leader, and I can, like, your team, they have a reason to follow you because this is the kind of vision you give, and this is the energy that you give, right, to everybody. You've given us so much free game just in us being your friends, right? Like, I love when I give free game to my homies and I see it happen in real life. It's like magic. I'm sure you feel the exact same way. You're like, I love seeing the joy and spread of giving. And I think a lot of people miss that because it's all about the dollars right now. Everybody cares about the dollar signs, right? But you've kind of been able to detach from that. You've been able to detach from the monetary goal or whatever and enjoy the process.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why I think you're going to be one of the biggest players out there. Like New Western, they should watch out.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. But to add to that, I think, one thing that also really makes me more successful this year, and I think the biggest difference between my business last year, even though I didn't necessarily know what I was doing, but I was so attached to the result, like if a deal didn't go through, man, I was upset. If a deal did go through, man, I was so freaking happy. You know what I mean? Like I was freaking jumping around. I wouldn't slack off work. I was still working, but subconsciously I'm like, I don't really need to do this right now. Like I just made 10K or
and it's like you get comfortable in a way too, right?
Yes. Dude, so like it's insane. Even though I was still actually hitting my KPIs, but I could see it in my conversations, and like when that deal didn't go through, I would get so upset at myself. But then it's like what I think makes the biggest difference is now it's just like, oh, okay. Like you should feel emotions like you're a human being. We should feel the happiness, the sadness that comes with this business, the stress, whatever it is. We're human beings. You should feel it. But you should realistically only feel it for like 5 minutes, and then just on to the next. It's like, dude, when I do a deal, no matter like how big it is, it's like, heck yeah, just did a freaking deal, 15K in the bag, let's go. Then it's like 5 minutes later, all right, where's the next one at? Where's the next one at? Yeah. And I think that's the biggest mindset shift that I had from last year to this year, and why I'm doing so many more deals this year than I was last year. I don't even think it was knowledge. Like the knowledge just comes anyways, but the entire thing, this entire business is all just mindset.
Dude.
That's 100%.
That's fire.
It all starts in here, guys. It all starts in here.
If you don't even think it's possible, like how is anything going to be possible?
Yeah. And that just goes back to the point of like, even like with astro flipping, for those of you guys that are watching that are in astro, when you get started the first week, you know nothing about real estate. It's all about, okay, what are your limiting beliefs? Let's dig through that mindset. What did you go through in your childhood that could affect what you're thinking today? Like it digs into all of that stuff. Like when I was taking it, I was like, whoa, this is crazy, because I never invested into mindset before that.
Yeah.
And it was really just mind blowing. It's because that's why so many people give up too, because they don't focus on their mindset. It's one of those things you have to develop every single day, because you can lose it like that.
Bro, 100%. Shout out to Jamil, shout out to Astro Flipping. Y'all need to join if you're not a part of it already, just because like this dude has literally changed our freaking lives. Like, dude, even like not only the mindset, but it's like, bro, y'all are some of my best friends. Like I literally just met some of my best friends through this community. Like shout out to the Trainer Bros and Adrian, like freaking love those guys too. Tyler, Mahmood, John, Helena, like all these people. It's like, dude, they're literally some of my best friends. And it's like, we just talk all the time, and it's so amazing. So big shout out to Jamil, for real.
Dude, and him and Pace, okay, what they've done so freaking amazing is like shared it with everybody because they could have just had all the success. They could have just charged us a bunch of money. They could have just done these things like everybody else has done, and they haven't. They've just invested into us, gave us love, let us connect. And I think it's actually going to be so much fun because we're the next generation of real estate investors, and we get to shape the landscape of what the media looks like, the marketing, the real estate itself, right? Because guys, nobody's going to own the real estate forever, right? Even if you own it now, you're going to pass away at some point. Doesn't mean your family's going to keep it, right? There's a whole levels to this wealth game. And so it's just a lot of fun that we get to be the next and get to put each other on. So, I mean, dude, it's been such a blast getting to like hang out with you, hang out, like do things. I'm looking forward to what we get to do in like November at the mastermind. Jamil, you don't know this yet, but we're going to be there. Okay, it's happening. So just things like that, like to keep in mind where we can all continue to connect. I'm super stoked for. I'm trying to think, Matt, everybody can send you deals at your Instagram. Where's the best place to reach you and tell people like what your markets are, how they can help. I know you and I are going to continue to do deals. We're hunting for deals right now, sub twos.
Yeah, so hit me up, Instagram link or at right here at Matthew Justice 22. My main market is Arizona. Can try and help you connect the dots almost anywhere in the United States, but actively looking for deals and buyers in Arizona. And so yeah, that's about it. Just hit me up on Instagram and I'll help you out.
100%. Everywhere in Arizona. This dude will even sell your deal in Yuma.
Yes, sir. It's a little rural area in Arizona.
Dude, it was. I know we got a hard stop here soon. So, dude, it was amazing having you on. Is there anything else you like want to leave people to take away with? Like,
let me pull something out the archives.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be saucy, bro.
Well, dude, I think realistically, it's your duty and responsibility and moral obligation to become financially free and to be successful in every single aspect of your life. So if you're not achieving excellence and demanding excellence in every aspect of your life, you're doing yourself a dishonor for your family, your friends, for every single person around you. So show up for literally everything, and get better at literally every single aspect in your life, and you'll live an amazing life.
100%, dude. This dude Matt is living proof of that. Like, I'm telling you, like, gym every morning, 5 a.m. Can't miss it, dude. He's like, all right, we're waking up at 4:30. We're going to the gym. I'm like, okay, bet, let's do it.
Dude, hey, we're gonna be in touch, Matt, because we're gonna be in Phoenix. We're gonna be there for like a week. Love to catch up with you. Maybe shoot a second episode. We'll see how it goes. But dude, thank you so much for all the sauce, for the friendship, for like everything that you bring, all the energy you drop in the community, all the mindset you share with everybody. It's so freaking awesome. And I cannot wait to see what happens in the coming year for you and everybody in your life, man.
Bro, appreciate y'all for real. Thanks for having me on. First episode. That's so exciting. Thank you guys for your guys' friendship. Excited for more things together, going out and doing conferences and whatnot. So heck yeah, dude. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you, bro. We will see you guys next time. And go ahead, follow Matt right there. That's his Instagram. Follow me. Stefan is sitting right next to me, so his @'s not there. It's @StefanLopez_. So follow us all on Instagram. Send us your deals. Texas, Atlanta, Phoenix, or Arizona, wherever. Let's get those deals closed. Thank you guys for stopping by, and we will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Let's go.